In this chapter, the author shifts from theory to practice. The big question is no longer does psi exist? It becomes, if it exists, how is it being used? While scientists debate mechanisms, governments, corporations, and individuals have explored practical applications of psychic phenomena in five major areas: medicine, military and intelligence, detective work, technology, business. Medicine psychic healing isn't new. Across history, we've seen shamans, spiritual healers, distant prayer, therapeutic touch. Modern research suggests that some forms of distant healing may produce measurable effects, especially in stress related illnesses. The chapter also discusses intuitive diagnosis, where a psychic reportedly identifies medical conditions without conventional information. One example describes a medical intuitive correctly identifying a spinal tumor before biopsy confirmation. However, the author emphasizes caution. Psi healing should never replace conventional medicine. Research is still developing. There are no standardized guidelines yet. But if even small effects are real, the economic and health implications could be enormous. Military and intelligence. One of the most controversial sections covers declassified U.S. government programs. For decades, agencies like the CIA and DIA funded remote viewing research. Why? Because sometimes, when conventional intelligence failed, remote viewing worked. The chapter recounts a famous case where a remote viewer described a massive Soviet submarine under construction months before satellite images confirmed it. The program wasn't perfect. The success rate wasn't extraordinary. But in high stakes intelligence, even occasional accurate information can be valuable. The key takeaway: remote viewing was funded for over 20 years because it produced results often enough to justify continued support. Detective work. Police departments have sometimes consulted psychics in difficult cases. While anecdotal evidence is hard to verify scientifically, the author argues that given strong laboratory evidence for psi perception, it is plausible that some cases of psychic detective work are genuine. Still, this field remains controversial and difficult to evaluate objectively. Technology. This section explores one of the most futuristic possibilities. If mind-matter interaction exists, could we build devices that respond to thought? Experiments with random number generators suggest that mental intention may slightly influence physical systems. The author describes attempts to build thought switch prototypes, devices that detect mental influence statistically rather than mechanically. Potential future applications could include mind-controlled prosthetics, deep space robotics, brain-computer interfaces, early warning systems using presentiment, anticipation of future events. Some corporations, including major electronics companies, have quietly explored such research. The challenge is not building hardware, but detecting subtle, non-random patterns reliably. Business. The final application is intuition in business and innovation. Many major inventors and executives have credited intuition for breakthrough decisions. Research suggests that successful executives may perform better in precognition experiments than average individuals. The idea isn't mystical, it's practical. In high-level decision-making, intuition may provide subtle informational advantages. Core message of the chapter. Psi research is not confined to laboratories. It has been explored in hospitals, military operations, police investigations, corporate innovation, experimental technology labs. The author argues that the real mystery is not whether psi has applications. The mystery is why mainstream science remains hesitant to openly acknowledge the evidence. The chapter ends by raising a natural question. If there are thousands of anecdotes, decades of studies, and real-world programs, why is psi still controversial? That question leads into the next theme: understanding.